Hey guys, happy Monday. Today we're going to do the cable kickback tutorial. Now with the cable kickback, it can be very mind baffling because there's more than one ways to skin a cat and so many people do it in so many different ways. So it's important that you find a way in which is most comfortable for you because sometimes, you might feel it in your lower back. Um you might feel it more in the glutes, like you might feel it in different places, more in your quads, so you might have to change the setup. I'm going to show you how I like to do it, and I actually show you it in three different ways in this. Two of them are more glute kickback, one is more like a kind of push down. Now, with the glute kickback, obviously your glutes are made up of three components, and they are going to give you that roundness, that kind of bubble butt. I like to place a glute kickback, a cable kickback, whatever you want to call it, at the start of a workout, but sometimes I like to place it in the middle of a workout, just depending on, you know, why we're doing it, where we're positioning it. But majority of the time I do like to place it at the start. Obviously, don't overcomplicate it. But I'm going to show you the glute cable kickback in different ways that you can do it. Obviously, you want to have the ankle attachment around your ankle. And I do like to stand on you can stand on like a small step, a wee platform. I just stand on this like wee edge of the cable setup, to save me going and get a step, lazy gal vibes. Now, what I'm going to show you three different setups, and I'll go through each one. So let's watch cable attachment, like knee height, just above knee height. And with a glute cable kickback, what you want to think about is, so if this is your feet, you want to, the one that you're going to be working, you want to kind of angle the feet like 30 degrees, right? And you're not doing a massive big kickback. You're simply, and I'm going to show you a better video on this, but all you're going to do is simply turn the toe out 30 degrees, nice soft knees, and then you're just going to simply kick that back, okay? The other foot is going to be, again, the knee is soft. You will feel it in the quads in this leg because, like I said in the Bulgarian split squat, with any single movement, you're going to feel it in the quad, because you're balancing your full body weight on that one leg, right? So this video isn't very good, but I did think I just put it in there anyway, right? So as you can see, not a big movement. I'm simply just putting my leg back and then returning it back in. And then I go off to the side. I'm going to show you it better here because that's a slightly different. So this, again, sometimes I like to kind of change it. I'll move it up and down depending on if I'm feeling it in that position. So say I put it at the bottom and I do maybe one set and I'm like, oh, do you know what? I actually don't really feel it there. I'm going to slightly move the cable attachment up, then go for it. This one I kind of brought it down, and as you can see here, my foot is slightly turned out the 30 degrees. My knee on the standing leg is nice and soft, and this one you'll see is also nice and soft. So I'm just taking it back. As you can see, it's not a big movement. You're simply up, hold, and then return it back in with the knee nice and soft here. As you can see here again, from the other side. So So all you're doing is slight 30 degree, bring it back, we hold at the top, so one, two, and then returning it back in. Show you again. So nice soft knees, and then, so we don't need to overcomplicate it, as I said, is you don't need to go like massively heavy on it. I did manage to get my weights up in this one, and then the last set I actually brought it down because I ended up pushing it too high that I wasn't actually feeling it in the glute. But the main thing is we want to slightly turn your feet out. All you're doing is slightly kicking it back, nothing too extreme, nothing kicking the air or anything, just nice and controlled. Hold it at the top for like 1 to 2 seconds and then return it back safely. and really think about at the top squeezing that glute. The next one I'm going to show you is more of a push down. So as you can see here, the cable attachment, I've attached it more kind of waist to hip height, more kind of, yeah, waist to hip height. And when you see this at the top, so it's the same movement again, it's nothing too big, but wait, and I'll get it here. As you can see, I'm taking it right up. If you think about it, I'm pressing down first of all. So this is also going to incorporate hamstrings as well. So I'm bringing it right up in that stretch, and then I'm basically pushing it down. So same movement when it gets to the bottom. That's that kind of kicky back. But at the top, I'm lengthening that stretch, and this will give more of a hamstring, that kind of glute and ham tie. I cannot talk today. Glute and ham tie-in that you will see like bodybuilders trying to achieve. It's just that connecting muscle from the glute to the hamstring, bringing that out. So that will help with that kind of more push down, and you're stretching right at the top. So again, we're holding it when you kick that foot back like that, and then I'll bring it all the way back to this one. So as you can see in this one, my leg's a bit straighter. Still, the opposite leg is slightly bent. The knee is nice and soft. Obviously, foot on the platform. But as you can see here again, so I've got it at like more hip to knee height. Ankle attachment around the ankle still. Toe is always slightly turned out, but I'm bringing it up, but I'm not bringing it into like a high knee. And it's more like when you see it, it's more straighter kind of leg. Again, top, then returning it back. Again, this whole movement will target your hamstrings at the same time. But for anyone that's just like starting out, I would always stick to the basic one. So have this attachment down where the ankles are, and you're slightly turning your foot back. All you're doing is kicking it back and in. If you want to advance that a wee bit more, I would put it up a wee bit, see how you feel with like the push down or the kind of straighter leg. But honestly, majority of the time, I just keep that attachment right down ankle height, just to purely work on the glutes. As it says, you will feel it in the hamstrings, you will feel it a bit in the quads, but for all round glutes, ankle height, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Again, I like to kind of lean my body forward, because if I stand up too straight, it hurts my lower back. So again, find that position. I personally don't like leaning all over like this. I think either like straight or 30 degrees, but you've got three kind of options. You've got more of a push down, but I would say don't use that unless I've instructed you to do that. So that's like the hip to waist, like here, more of the high knee and then pressing down. I would tell you to do that because that's more of a push down rather than a kick back, but you will see some people doing that. For a majority of the time, I just want a simple movement here. So again, like this movement where you've got the ankle, you've got the cable set up at ankle height, and all you're doing is simply kicking back and holding it at the top. So that is your glute cable kickback. Um, but as I says, you can move this cable attachment up, but we just want this movement to be simple. You're simply toe turned out, kick back, return it back in. As it says, with the push down with the high knee coming up and the high knee pressing down, then that would be a push down. That would be me instructing you to do that because that is slightly different. But I thought I would show you because you might see other people doing it and think, oh my god, that's another way to do it. But this is the basic glute cable kickback made easy. Okay, so if you do have any questions around this, if you're like, what the fuck, then just let me know. But it's all about tempo, it's about controlling the movement. Keep it nice and simple. You don't need to be kicking the air. Honestly, you just need to slightly kick back, then return it back in. Nice soft knees. Always, as I said, You can stand up tall, you can slightly lean forward. I like to hold on to the poles as well for stability. You can use a wee step, you don't need to. I find that because I'm a short gal, I like to have that wee ledge up. Okay, so any questions around this, let me know. Hopefully this helped, and if you want me to upload the video or anything properly, then just feed it back to me.